guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney Bundles, and today's video is going to be dealing with upset customers, some of the things that you have to keep in mind when talking to an upset customer, and some of the things that I actually do that helps me find a resolution and it just helps everything run smoothly. I think this is a great video, especially if you're going into business for yourself, if you already work in a business, if you're in customer service, pretty much any person that has to deal with customers, clients. This is a great video for you. So before we get started, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed. I do upload every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. So this channel is always, dishing out new content, and I would love for the channel to grow. So make sure that you are subscribed, and let's go ahead and get right into this video. All right, so first things first, the first thing that I want to go over is listen to understand, okay? So when you're on the phone with a customer, if you're in person with a client, whenever you're speaking, you want to make sure that you're actually listening and not just over talking. I think so many times we automatically assume that we understand why someone's upset. We automatically assume that we know what's best before we even take the time to actually listen to really discover what the problem is. Being in a field for so long, you get some of the same questions. Even me, with doing batch of hair, having a hair business, I get some of the same type of questions. And so it's very easy for me to just say, before someone actually starts, let me explain this. Like if I get on the phone, for example, and someone's starting off the conversation like, hey, I saw one of your videos, I'm really interested in, it may be easy for me to say drop shipping before they even got a chance to actually say what they're interested in, because a lot of the calls that I get that start off like that, the clients are interested in drop shipping. So it's like when you get so used to your normal routine and to the normal calls, and just when you just start going through the flow of your business and not really taking time to really discover and figure out what someone wants, that can actually build up frustration. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been on the other side of that, but don't you hate when people just put words in your mouth before you can even explain it? It may be, they may be right. They may have guessed what you were going to say, but it's still like you want the opportunity to be able to say how you feel in your own words. And customers want that same opportunity as well. So I think we just have to remember to put patience back into what we do. And just to remember that, yeah, we're working on a time schedule, time is money in essence, but customers are your money too. You know what I mean? So you have to make sure that that customer service is always right. I am going to link a video at the description box that goes over some of my tips on kind of opening up conversations with customers. So that'll be linked below. So feel free to click on that video, but listen to understand. So give your customers an opportunity to explain what they're calling in for, to explain, what they're writing in for, and actually try to understand where they're coming from. A lot of times, especially if people are upset, you don't really say exactly what you mean, because you're talking out of emotion. And it's scientifically proven when you're upset, you're not at your best. You're not thinking the best way. So there could be times that someone may just be so upset or so excited or so anxious that they're not really taking time to really explain themselves thoroughly. So it's really important not just to listen to the words, but to kind of listen to their tone and their voice. And I'll make a completely different video about that. But listen to their tone, listen to or read through, read to understand. You can just go quickly read an email, but if you really take the time to kind of dissect the email, you'll find way more information. So that's my first tip. Just really listen to understand. That way you're both on the same page and you can understand which way you need to move to make sure that the issue gets resolved. The second tip that I have is let them vent. I think so many times, again, we're just so in a rush. We feel like we just already know what the customer's wanting. And in our mind, it's not like we're just trying to necessarily rush people off the phone, but we're just thinking that, hey, this person wants to get off the phone. This person wants to get their issue handled, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut them off so I can get them the resolution faster. In our head, sometimes we may think that that's the best, but it's really not. Sometimes you need to vent. On the flip side of that, put yourself in their shoes. If you're upset, it can be with a family member or a friend. It's like you want that time to actually tell them what hurt you. You don't want to go to someone and say, I'm upset, and they just be like, oh, you're upset because of this. This is how you feel. This is how we're going to move forward. You're like, dang, I didn't even get a chance to really explain how I really feel. And by me talking my way through it, it really helps me feel better. It helps me kind of release some of my tension. So even if you feel like you know where the conversation is going, just like I said prior, let them explain it. Let them vent. Give them a chance to kind of get things off of their chest. And when you talk through things, it really does release some of the anger, some of the anxiety, and it makes you calm down. So let them vent, let them talk it out. Even if they're going in circles, let them do it. I'm going to make a video too about how to direct conversations, because you do get clients or customers that, you know, if you don't say anything, if you do let them vent for so long, the conversation can go on literally indefinitely. It can go on for like hours, and you want to make sure that it's not really dragging out that long, but you have to find a balance. You just have to find a balance, and it's too much to go over in this video, so stay tuned. I'm going to be dropping a lot more content and a lot more tips, but let them vent. The third tip that I want to go over is remain professional but direct. I think a lot of people think, because I thought this too, when you're professional, that means you just kind of have to let everything slide. You really can't say things how they are, and that's so not true. The more that I get involved in the business world, the more that I deal with more customers, it just helps me have a better understanding for true customer service. And true customer service isn't something that you learn overnight. It takes experience and it takes training, and you can be professional, meaning that you can address customers with respect and you can uphold the expectation of your business or your company, but you can also be direct. You can also say, you know, this is how we're going to move forward. These are the options that I have available. This is what I can do. You can still be very direct and be professional. So I want to make sure that we're keeping that in mind. A lot of people say, I'm just going to keep it real. You can keep it real, but you don't have to downgrade the level of service that you're providing. So that's my third tip. Definitely remain professional, but be direct. Mean what you say and let them know exactly what you can do to help. This is kind of going to bring us to number 4, resolving the issue. So like I just mentioned, letting them know what you can do to help. A lot of times I think we get so caught up on what we can't do. You know, I get questions all day, and some of the questions are, you know, asking for services that I don't provide yet, and they're like, hey, do you do this? Instead of me just saying, no, I don't do this, is there anything else I can help you with? It's like, no, I don't do this, because I want to be very direct, but this is what I can do. Or some people don't even say, no, I can't do this. They'll be like, you know, what I can do is. So either way that makes you feel comfortable, just letting them know, making sure that you put emphasis on what you can do. I like saying, if I can't do it, no, I'm not, you know, this is a service I'm not offering at this time. What I am offering is. I still like to put that no in there, just because for me, it's being direct. And I found that it works best for my business to just be direct instead of beating around the bush. I like to just hit it head on. No, I don't do this. This is what I do. These are the different options that I do have available. So letting them know what you can do and putting emphasis on that, drawing the conversation back around what you can offer and how it's going to benefit their situation. The 5th tip that I have is setting proper expectations. So a lot of times customers, clients get upset because the expectation just isn't there. It's like when I was running my salon, I would stress this, you know, make sure that you're on time to your appointment. Make sure that you're actually early for your appointment. You want to give yourself time to actually set up. You want to give yourself time to actually get settled in. And even if the client's a few minutes late, you know, it's better the client be a few minutes late than actually you, because you're representing your company. You're representing your brand. And when you set the right expectation, you also have to know what your company policies are, what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept, because business goes both ways. So if you're someone that's like, you know what, if my client is 15 minutes late, then I'm going to have to reschedule. If you don't set that expectation and say someone gets there 15 minutes late and you're just like, I can't take you, they're going to be upset, because they're like, I didn't know that. Even though they're late, that's kind of where the saying, the customer's always right, comes into part. It's like, even if you came early, you being a stylist, even if you set up everything, even if you did your job and what you were supposed to do right, if you didn't set the right expectation, your customer, your client is going to be upset, and they're going to spread that word. They're going to go off their story. And their story is going to be, when I got there, you know, I was a little bit late and she just canceled on me. So that's what they're going to spread. And, you know, and it may have not gone that exact way, but you didn't set the right expectation. So in essence, you did drop the ball. As business owners, we have a higher responsibility. We have a higher ownership. And it's like, a lot of people don't like to be wrong. And that's something that you have to kind of get over when you are in business. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But make sure that you are setting the right expectations, because it just minimizes so much confusion and it just sets the tone for how things are going to work. 6, my last tip is, don't be afraid to be wrong. like I just said, in business, you are going to have to kind of get over the fact that, I don't want to be wrong. I'm right about everything, because there are going to be times that you're wrong. And even if you're personally not wrong, there's going to be times that people that work for you are going to do something that is not right. It's going to happen. So you have to already have backup plans, and you already have to have like an expectation within your business, even if it's just yourself, a policy that you have that's like, okay, this is what's going to happen when this happens. I think the worst thing that can happen when you are starting a business is you not be prepared. And there's going to be some things that you aren't going to be prepared for, especially if you're just starting off, because you don't know everything and you don't really know what to expect at this point. So there may be some things that you kind of look over. But one of the worst things that you can do is not accept responsibility for something that happened on behalf of your company. Even if you have, sometimes even for Bachelor Care, I have different people filling in for me. Things that will happen day to day that I may need someone to step in and say, hey, can you take over the website chat? Or, hey, can you help me with some of the text messages that I'm receiving? Or, hey, can you go to the post office and mail these orders out for me? So there's times that you may have other people help, especially as you expand and get bigger. Or you may own a salon or own actually a physical storefront, and there may be other people that are working there with you. And so the worst thing that you can do is not take responsibility for the mistakes that happen on behalf of your business. Even if I personally didn't do something wrong, if someone that I put in charge of doing something did something wrong, I'm going to stand up and take ownership, because ultimately it's my business and this is the company that I'm working for. When people go into a store, they're not going in with the expectation that a specific person, normally they're not going into the store with an expectation that a specific person is going to be in charge of everything. If you, for example, if you go to McDonald's and someone there didn't give you your French fries, when you go back to McDonald's, even if you're not talking to that specific person, you still may be upset because it's the corporation that you're looking at. You're not looking at just that one person. And so it's the same in your business. If you place someone in charge of a certain thing or a certain department and it doesn't happen, the best thing to do is just to take ownership and say, I'm sorry, because you are the business. And to not place blame. I'm not going to go and say, hey, it wasn't me that did this. It was such and such that did it because she was over the email portion today. Or it wasn't me that did it. This was actually my stylist that did it. It's my responsibility to take responsibility. So that's why I'm saying, if you are a business owner and you have a really hard time with just admitting wrongs and taking responsibility and taking blame, even when it's not yours, that's something that you're going to have to learn to get over, because as a business, you're going to be saying sorry when it's not even you specifically that did it, because it's your business and you have a greater responsibility than just yourself. You're no longer responsible for just yourself. You're responsible for the brand of your business. So don't be afraid to admit when you're wrong. There's always a way to fix everything. Being a business owner, starting your own business, you're going to have to become creative, and you're going to have to find ways to satisfy your customers, and you're going to have to find a way to learn how to admit that you're wrong, because there are going to be times that you're going to be wrong, and it's okay. We just have to find a way to fix them so that everyone in the scenario is happy. So I really hope that these tips helped. If you have any questions, like always, please leave them down below. Make sure that you guys are following me on my social media. I'm wanting to do more things with my social media accounts, and I really want you guys to follow me and support me on there as well. So make sure that you are following me on Instagram at Bachelor Care, and also at Brittney_Bundles. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at Bachelor Care, and also Brittney Bundles. And make sure that you're following me on Facebook, Brittney Bundles and Bachelor Care. So until next time, guys, I will see you all in my next video. Thanks again for watching. Bye.